pick up at a little pit stop about 50 miles north of Chiang Mai. At this point, I've spent the last 2 hours sat in a minivan as it makes the journey further into the north of Thailand, to a quaint little town called Pai. Just across the river on the outskirts of the town centre is the location of my accommodation for the next couple days. A peaceful encampment of straw huts circled around a field, each with their own double bed, complete with bug netting and a not so private bathroom. Look at those gaps. Obviously, my first port of call was to head out for some food, and as the night drew in, the town lit up with stalls and restaurants. Then it was back over the river to bed. So the next day I'd booked myself into another tour group. The tour would take us to a handful of areas of natural beauty in the Pai area. There was a total of 3 different tour groups, all doing similar tours, so naturally all the backpackers from those groups sort of gathered together. This became my sort of friend group for the rest of the time in Pai. First stop, a river cave. As we descended into the depths of the cave, the only light sources were from the tour guide and a few lanterns showing the way. This gave the cave a sort of whimsical feel to it, like walking in a fairy tale. Following the lanterns, we eventually descended all the way down to the river that runs through the cave. And there, we boarded some bamboo rafts and silently floated through the darkness. Beautiful. Stop number 2, a thermal spring. See, this was the first time I had visited a thermal spring, so I was not aware that you're not supposed to submerge your head underwater. Whoops. I did the customary mud mask, then it was out of the water and back in the Songthaw. On to the next destination. Third stop, a waterfall. Then, after visiting a small market that I didn't bother filming, we reached the final destination of the tour, Pai Canyon, also known as Kong Lan, a red sandstone canyon with a full 360-degree view of the surrounding landscape. The walkways through the canyon were not particularly safe, especially in flip-flops. But I wasn't going to let that deter me. I wanted dramatic shots of me looking out over the landscape. That evening, all the backpackers from the tour met up for drinks. Then it was off to bed in the early hours of the morning. I didn't really get up to anything on my final day in Pai, because that evening I would be boarding an overnight coach that would take me out of Thailand and onto the next destination of the Southeast Asia adventure.